Hello, 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 ladies, gentlemen, and bees. Thank you for coming to the stream that answers the question, why will Neil get arrested? Today, we are talking about something that we have spoken about before and something that I will always, and always support, which is the removal of the anti defection law. And one of the reasons why the Indian parliament suffers so much. Now, I started with the carriage before the horses here. Let's get to the basics of this. So we are talking about Om Birla. Now, Om Birla is a man that has been accused of multiple violations of the role of the speaker, within his role of the speaker, supporting the government, multiple ones, has the highest record of people getting detained, people getting expelled from the parliament under his guidance. What was it? 163 members that were removed and expelled from the parliament. We have seen that he has consistently on camera allegedly supported the government. There was always like quote end quote removal of free voices from the opposition. We'll go through it one by one. We are going to hear Mahua Mohitra talk about it. She puts it very eloquently. So I might not always be supportive of her stances, especially when it comes to the West Bengal election. But here she is on point. So we're going to listen to it. Then we're going to talk about like Rahul Gandhi and why all of this problem isn't actually a Om Birla problem. Om Birla, again, is just a symptom. I say this because the actual problem within all of this is not Om Birla. It is not even the BJP. The problem started with the Congress because Congress wanted to maintain its seats. This started like way back in the time of Rajiv Gandhi around what was the year? 1967. Around 1985. This started in 1985. Absolutely horrendous law. This is a black law. The law itself turns India from a parliamentary system to an oligarchy. I do not know why people did not realize this back then. Birla Chaddi, like all Chaddis, his loyalty lie within anti-India forces. Yes, but this is not why he can go around doing this. I don't care at this point. Like, fine. I agree. Birla is a Chaddi. Fine. Doesn't matter to me. But why is getting Birla, who has such flagrant violations, so hard? Why is the opposition in India completely non-existent? While even if the Democrats don't have the Senate in America, don't have the government, don't have nothing, they can still get things like the Epstein law passed. But in India, you never could. I always wondered about it. We've talked about this before. The anti-defection law is a black law. It is a law that makes it impossible for change. It makes it impossible for the government to function like a government should. We are going to go through it. Don't worry about that. We're going to go through every single instance of it. And this is quite serious, I would argue. Because as long as the anti-defection law keeps going on, is still in practice and it's still not like killed like the next session, India is going to keep being an oligarchy. Hey, Hassan, how are you doing? How's it going? It is a huge problem. It is a huge problem. And people don't talk about this. Like, I always hear like, oh, they knew they were going to lose. Oh, what's the point then? Just bringing up different topics like It's like chai ki tapri. You're just going there, bringing up points, and like, oh, something will happen. Someone will do something. They should do this. They should. This is what they're doing in the parliament right now. There's nothing more in the parliament that is happening beyond this. I'm sorry. The parliament is kind of dying. And this makes me mad. This does. No one talks about this. No one talks about this. It is Rajiv Gandhi's fault, just to be clear. It is his fault. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a Congress supporter or not, it doesn't matter. It was a bad law that came into force. This is why it is so hard to even do anything against the BJP. Literally anything. In the parliament, no matter how good of an orator you are, no matter how good of a speech you do, no matter how valiant your cause is, tomorrow they might have a cause. We should not kill people. The government should not kill people. That is the cause. That is what they're talking about. That thing, that proposal will fail. You know why? Because of the anti-defection. Because if you do not have a majority, you cannot pass any bills. Because you cannot convert the members issue by issue. And like, this is not how parliament should ever work, ever. There is no reason why this should have been the thing. The whole point of giving a speech in the parliament is not just to talk to the people outside of the parliament. It is also trying to convince, like the original idea of a parliament, convince the politicians sitting next to you that what you're proposing is correct. That what you're proposing is actually what they should be supporting. India is never going to have a Marjorie Taylor Greene. India is never even going to have someone like who's the John Fetterman, for example. John Fetterman is like not a positive example, it's a negative example, but fine, whatever. Because India doesn't have a working parliament. India does not have a working parliament. The parliament in India is just a show. It is no different from the American Super Bowl or your T20 cricket. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make a change because the opposition does not have majority and the current government has so much of a majority that it can just grab, doesn't matter, the voting doesn't matter. They already know what is going on, what laws are going to be passed. They can just skip all of this and it still will be the same. Tell me one law that has passed that the opposition has brought forth or their criticisms have been taken into consideration. You won't find one. You can't repeal shit unless you go out on the road, because the legislative is curbed because of this law. You can't convince your politicians to like put forth your demands in the parliament. You can't. Like, it can be a direct representative. They just can't put their own points over there at all. They have to suck up to the party, which is the problem. How are you going to convince a politician? Like, why are they giving speeches? And someone tell me, why do people give speeches in the parliament other than just show off in front of the public? Not one person is allowed legally to change their mind. Not one person is allowed to speak against their party leader or vote against what the parties wants to vote. Why do we even have this? I don't understand. Like, why have this elaborate dance set up that leads to absolutely nothing? Why do we have to sit and look at their speeches? Why? It doesn't fucking matter. It just doesn't. No one is going to change their mind. None of these people are ever going to do anything about it. Everyone is just talking out of their ass. That is it. No motion is ever going to pass. No motion is ever going to pass unless you have a distinct majority. If you don't have a majority by voting, you're going to get nowhere. I'm sorry, you're going to get nowhere. Do you think BJP has a solid foothold in Maharashtra? Have they taken Shiv Sena's place? They are trying to. It's very hard. Dekho dekho kaun. Yeah, it was hilarious, but that was it. Does it change anything? Yes or no? What is the point? That is my point here. Dekho dekho kaun hai Epstein ka dost. Like, we are watching it, but it is completely utter pointless. It is just a circus. Because of one law, it's a circus. Just because of one law. Think about it. Let me just thank people here. Shusin wants to, he'll watch later. Like, tell me, like, seriously, I'm asking you, what is the point of Dekho Dekho Epstein ka dost aaya with the other than just entertainment value? What is the point? Like, I'm genuinely asking. Someone please tell me what is the goddamn point. I'm gonna do the light, getting the light a bit fixed until then. Perfect. Like, tell me, what is the genuine point? Remember, they wanted a pan-India NRC. Can't guarantee they won't bring it back. Even if they do bring it back, what is the point? Like, they're gonna get it. What happening? I was stabbed out. No, I am asking them question. What was the point of the Dekho Dekho Epstein Aya other than just entertainment value for the public watching? Does it really affect anyone's chances here of winning or losing? No. वेडिंग क्रिकेट फैशन से फुर्सत मिले तब जनता जागेगी. No. Forget that. जनता जागो ना जागो. Doesn't fucking matter. Whatever happens, end of the day, जनता जाग गई. Everyone voted for the opposition. CPIM becomes the next chief. Like, CPIM has to give up the candidate for the prime minister. It is a CPIM government. Forget CPIM. It is a Papaksh government. I'll give you Papaksh government here. Like, we get into politics. Not gonna happen. We get into politics. All of you are ministers. We get a Papaksh government. Like, Bliss is sitting as the next prime minister of India. And she wants to give out a law or whatever. What is the point of the parliament? Doesn't matter. Is it going to matter at the end of the day what happens during a parliamentary session? No, because people are going to forget about it. No matter who comes in power, parliamentary sessions are absolutely useless because we have the majority. We can do whatever we want. We can take out a law that says it's illegal to consecutively step twice with both feet, and then the thrice one is completely illegal. Everyone has to like step forward 2 steps, jump once, and then move on and continue and repeat that. That can be a law tomorrow in India. There is going to be no opposition because there cannot be. Because if you have a majority, there is no way for the opposition to even budge the majority. There is no way for the opposition. It is either 33% or nothing. It is 33% or nothing. And the number keeps getting bigger the bigger majority you have, which is completely antithetical to what parliamentary democracy was. We don't have a system like America where we have a president and we can put on like, and if you oppose it, they'll lock you under UP. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the problem. And then it is not like a presidential where president has like the full right to just write up a order and then later you can discuss it in the, what's the word, in like courts, but courts have that power over there to just disregard presidential briefs. That is a problem. But like in India, they wanted to avoid that. They really wanted to avoid that. That's why we are parliamentary. That's why we have so much here and like so much back and forth talking. But this talking has been completely useless since 1985. Absolutely fucking useless. I have Since I got to know about this law that exists, I think of this literally every time there is a parliamentary session, which you should too. There is zero reason why any of your laws ever matter. Hey Radhika, how are you going? How is it going? Hope you caught the last stream. We were shitting on like imperialists a lot. Anyway, right now we're talking about why Om Birla is winning and like BJP generally wins in the parliament. And I'm sorry to say this was Rajiv Gandhi's fault. This was Rajiv Gandhi's fault. Like, it doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Didn't know earlier. Oh, okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. See, because of, I don't know if you've heard this. Gaye Ram, Aye Ram. Sorry, no. Aayenge Ram, Aye Ram, Gaye Ram. Have you heard this phrase before? Any of you? This is all before our times, by the way. None of us were alive back then, and we are getting shit on because of this law. Like, government changing issues. Yeah, this is a government changing issue. Like, this law came in like 1985 because of Rajiv Gandhi. I understand there are people who are going to love the Congress back then, hate the Congress, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a problem. This is a problem tomorrow if BJP comes to BJP loses as well. Like, any government because of this law is completely immune to any kind of opposition. No, the phrase Airam Gairam was attributed to unstable governments. I know. Sorry, I got that wrong. That was because of Gaye someone. The surname was Gaye. Gaya Lal. He changed his party affiliation 3 times. Laws specify the condition under which the state may intervene against individuals. They define what you're permitted to do, ensuring your actions don't conflict with the state. Sure. On that note, like, don't look at it in like an authoritarian lens. Every single law that there is authoritarian to some degree. It doesn't matter. Pap, nothing we can do. Nobody wants to talk about serious complex issues. Yeah, starting here. I have been talking about it since the start of the channel, by the way. I'm not even joking. Check like the second stream we did on this. I was talking about it back then as well. I did not like, I wasn't as good. I'm not like the best in talking about shit, but even now I'm still going to talk about this like 2-3 years later down this line. No matter, like, it doesn't matter how many followers we get, no matter what the government tells us or which government it is. This is, as long as this is in place, I'm going to talk about this. I can assure you as much. This is why we are here. Echo chambers and bubbles never get it done, but this is not an echo chamber. This is not an echo chamber. I think you miss out on what an echo chamber is. Echo chamber is when all of you are saying wah wah to me. None of you do that. I get shit on like every other base on like topics. Last night I was fighting with Bliss on the Discord. What is the best, like this was last night or last Monday night before. What is the best way to, try and get China and Pakistan to play ball? These are the topics we keep talking about. I was fighting with someone like 2 days ago, Red Action or someone. This is not an echo chamber. This is me trying to send a message. Also, if no one is talking about it, what is the point? Nothing is ever going to change anyway. I might as well try. Like, tell me, if let's say this is just an echo chamber, you all agree with me, and that's it. At least we have enough traction right now to get at least one new person every other day. What is liberal and why you hate them? Hold on, which channel are you? So liberals are people who have no spine, to be honest. Liberal identity means they want like all the freedoms at the end of the day, to the point where they want a free market. A free market just means you're going to end up with A free market literally means you're going to end up with a centralized economy, not you, the opposition. Yeah, I'll get to that. Centralized economy where all the power is concentrated between the top 0.1%. This is what liberal economics at the end of the day achieves, because there's no such thing as a free market. If you, there is, every market is managed by someone or the else. It is either like American free market is managed by a few companies. Currently, it is managed by like Nvidia, the Chat GPT, OpenAI, just cycling money through, so much GDP rise. Indian markets are free market, but managed by Adani and Ambani's, like to get themselves richer. All of the money gets concentrated at the top. Reinforces invisible hand, Adam Smith. Yes, exactly. It reinforces the invisible hand. Sorry, this is a bit out of what I was trying to talk about with the other part. But fine. That's why, like, I hate liberal economics, especially, and people who support it. It is stupid. We need a ground up approach for this. You can't say we are going to, like, it has been said before that, look, drip economy system works, the money will drip down. Doesn't happen. It has been completely debunked. You need a grassroots effort. You need to be bottom to top. You need welfare efforts, specifically coming from the government. You need to abolish insurance. Insurance is a social evil. Parenti has the best role reply to invisible hand BS. Send it to me because I have forgotten what it is. Okay, I'm just going to focus on like one point at a time, right? Anyway, so this is why I hate liberalism. Liberalism doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't get you progress. All of the technology that you think that you are getting is not from liberalism. It is from socialistic effort. But that socialism has happened for the military, which has developed like the internet, the phone, the computer, whatever. Liberals not at all, yes. Yep. Oh, not at all, comma, yes. So, like, anyone talking about you need to be liberal is stupid, because if workers are liberal, they lose rights. They lose on their welfare. And you and me are workers. We are not like landowners. We are not owners of like companies. We are whatever, no. And like when you look at like the owners of this company, when you look at owners of these companies, they all practice socialism for themselves. They get public handouts. They get tax benefits. All they have to do is buy a stupid painting and they get tax benefits for the rest of their lives. Elon Musk is the biggest money collector from the government. That dude hates on public welfare, but all of his companies live on public welfare. That's why I hate liberals, because liberals make that happen. Liberals also give rise to capitalism. Capitalism in itself is exploitation of the minorities. Like, it can't survive without exploiting the minorities. I have always said this. I will always say this. Capitalism is just feudalism with better PR. You can quote me. Please quote me. I would like the, what's the word? Like the credits for this quote. I have not seen anyone else say this before. The point here is that, and capitalism leads to like imperialism, what is happening in the US, because they always are they always want the GDP number to keep going up and up and up, little by little by little. And all of this comes down from liberalism. You can be a liberal while being right-wing as well, by the way. Like the current American government, the Republican government is a liberal right-wing government with aspects of conservatism involved within them for the sake of getting votes. At the end of the day, Trump responds to a lot more to the bond market than he responds to his own base. That's why I hate liberalism, because they don't really care beyond like profits. Like, it doesn't matter to them, especially at the top. They'll sell you this idea that you can become this like rich person if you just try hard. You cannot be, because all of the rich people had continuous handouts given to them. That's why being left is better than being liberal. Liberal is stupid, especially for worker class. Anyway, the thing that we were talking about. The thing that we were talking about was the anti-defection law. Now, it started in the 1960s. There was this whole thing about people defecting from one side to the other based on whichever side gave them more money or whatever. You can call it corruption, you can call it whatever. But the issue is here, when you are trying to protect someone. Thank you, Radhika. Thank you, Radhika. Hold on, let me just thank you. Please. Oh, that's so sweet. I might cry. I might legitimately cry because of this. This was like, what? Okay. Anyway, so I just can't hold. Give me a second. I just feel so overwhelmed sometimes. I'm a very emotional person, by the way, just to be clear. Anyway, this is better for the camera. Anyway, so this started in the 1960s with this idea that if you allow politicians to flip-flop, MLAs will go from one side to the other, back and forth, here and there. But when you make such laws that a parliamentarian is not allowed to decide for his own which side he comes up in, the whole idea of a democracy dies. Because as a representative of the people, the politician is responsible not only to the party, but also to he also represents the will of its people. Now, the will of its people representation is a bit more theoretical in this sense, or more hypothetical. But still, his party affiliation should not dictate what he or she feels towards his people that he's trying to represent. I gave this example last time, I'll give this example again. If, say, I am in a party, whatever, choose a party for me, whichever, paste the name of it. Now, I am just a person from, let's say, Kolhapur. Kolhapur is a city in Maharashtra. And I'm representing people of Kolhapur. The government comes up with a plan. The government in this is like the government I am part of as well. Because I am in this scenario in the winning side, the majority side. Comes up with a plan that every person from Kolhapur gets shot and we clear out the entire area. We do a mass ethnic cleansing of the area and break it to the ground. Now, I have two choices. One, I agree. Two, I convince 33% of how many ever members the party has to rebel. Near impossible for one single person on one single issue. And there's one another issue here, is that how MLAs from a specific region are selected is, if I am registered to vote in Maharashtra, all I have to do is register. I don't even have to live there. I can be selected to represent the people of Kolhapur even if I've never been to Kolhapur. And that also, you see the problem with how MLAs are selected and with the anti-defection law. There is no incentive for me as like a parliamentarian in this scenario to ever pick the people of Kolhapur over my party affiliation. To ever pick the people of India, because they are people of India, over my party affiliation. My party affiliation becomes paramount. All I have to do is get elected and everything goes on autopilot. I don't have to be part of any meetings. I don't have to get into any meetings whatsoever. I don't even have to speak in the parliament. I don't need to keep forward my opinions at all. They do not ask what I think, what I don't think, because they don't care. The high command will decide, give the directive, send a memo. This is what we are voting for. We are going to submit your name accordingly. All you have to do is yes, sir. That's it. And this is common for every single person that wins. Every single parliamentarian, if they are not in the high command, they do not get to decide anything or the direction the party is going. The direction the party wants the people to go. Because at the end of the day, party high command is going to focus on getting the maximum people elected. That's why they do all this show of like, dekho dekho Epstein ka dost, or like, we are going to watch like Mahua Moitra going guns blazing against the BJP and Om Birla right now. We'll watch it. This is the same one who was dancing for Jindal. Just to be clear. Mahua Moitra went to the wedding of Jindal's daughter, and with Kangana Ranaut, she was dancing on stage with Supriya Sule from NCP. All of them are dancing at BJP MP Jindal's child's wedding together. They were dancers for him. Now, the explanation was, you make affiliations cross-party. But tell me, if you are so ideologically opposed to all of this, why would you ever do that? But that is all a separate issue. That is an ideological issue within these party people itself. That aside, I know this is a big thing, but that aside, what happens in this scenario is, even if you are inherently BJP, even if you are inherently Congress, even if you are anywhere, wherever, you cannot break your vote from the parties, no matter what the party is doing. I do agree MPs should have the right to disagree with party and voice their opinions, but there should be a way to stop them from jumping in between parties for any reason. Why? Why? Tell me. These are adults. We are talking about adults who have taken up the responsibility to lead a government. I am not going to expect anything less or anything more from the prime ministers or the government that is leading than to govern a complete state like India. Yeah, sure. Take BJP for example. Like, there should be a thing from people jumping parties. Why? Like, I don't understand why. In every other country, even in like America, they don't need laws. No, wait, let me finish. There are laws around this as well, that everything needs to be transparent, whatever. You can have those laws. Or you can have a party whip to whip votes for anything that you put forward. Did you know? No, I did not know she dislikes reservation. Is friend with Dilip Ghosh. Did not know that. Silent on Bengal, a fake progressive. No, I know she's a fake progressive. Like, but she's progressive because TMC wants to go that way. I'm pretty sure she'll join the BJP tomorrow. Unstable. No. This will, like, how did Indian government work before 1985 then? Please, how did Indian government work before 1985? Like, tell me. This law was instituted in 1985. For a good 45 years, for a good 30-ish years, we were operating without this. Do you not take, like, we are not playing children's games here. We are not having like, oh, this is a government that like is only on this position where this is only like managing your society's government, where if people are jumping ship because of this and that, there is nothing you can do about it. Like, do you not believe that if you are running a government, if you want to run a government, you need to have... No, let me finish, Bliss. Let me finish. Give me a second. Guys, let me finish. So if you're taking the job of running the government, are you not able to also keep your party in check? Like, today, politicians are not principled. Why do you think they're not principled, Bliss? Seriously. Imagine if the richest party can just buy MPs. They are doing it even now. They jump ship after elections sometimes. No, but like think about this. Why do you select non-principled politicians? Like tomorrow, if anti-defection law wasn't in place, do you think BJP will keep selecting Brij Bhushan, who will go wherever the money takes him? No, he will not be a BJP candidate. Do you think Congress will keep going back to keep going back to who's that Tharoor guy? No, they won't, because he's not trusted. He doesn't have a political ideology. Because of the anti-defection law, you can literally select anyone, because after they join through elections, they're stuck in your party. So you don't need political ideology. You don't need ideological principles. And after these people take over, I'm saying this more and more, the party becomes completely unprincipled. Because they didn't start off with principles. They're supposed to take over anyway. For your information, TMC doesn't want to be progressive. It is center-right, unapologetic. It threatens to vote people. Threatens to vote people? I don't understand. Threatens to kick people out, you mean? Yeah, I just did. We'll cover it. Don't worry. We'll cover it. It is fine. We'll cover that as well. Don't worry about it. The point that I'm trying to make here is, because of this law, governments are getting so lax. Like, why do you... Okay, some guardrails need to be there, in my opinion, as people will just jump. Let them. Mandatory power, anything, it will hurt all and will unleash Airam Gairam thing again. No, but tell me, why are you running a political party that people are more not politically aligned with? Why are you running a party where you cannot trust your own party members? Where you can't convince them to vote for you at every step of the way? Yeah, threaten to kill people. Yeah. No, I get it. I understand. We'll get to it. But seriously, this is a serious thing I'm asking anyone who's watching this later as well. Why are we selecting politicians in any political party that are so easily changed with just money in hand? Do they not have political ideologies and they believe in? Like, I'll ask you, Bliss. Tomorrow, if I give you enough money, would you become a capitalist? Would you swear off speaking for the poor? Would you end up becoming anti-trans? Would you end up becoming like pro-Trump if I feed you enough money? I'm sure that you won't, because I know you and I can tell that you won't, because you are someone who is extremely principled. You have a principle and education backing you. The issue here is that, no, not in an ideal world. The issue is currently you can select anyone to be a politician, because at the end of the day, if you just get them to win from wherever, it doesn't matter. They will have to vote with you, because if they vote without you, they're going to jail. They're getting fined. In Alva says what makes sense, but India is far from... No. This is why it's far from ideal. This is why it is far from ideal, Bliss. I'm like... You want to say that it is far from ideal right now, but I'm giving you the reason why it's far from ideal. Because they are not selecting people based on their ideals. They're selecting people based on electability. That is it. Electability doesn't make good politicians. Good governance makes good politicians. Electability, like, I can have an influencer get elected from a state. Does it make sense that the person should be a politician? No. That is the point. In Bengal, difficult to distinguish between balls and bombs. BBC documentary is there. See, Radhika, I have no idea right now about Bengal. We'll get to it. I need to do a very big deep dive in Bengal, and we'll do it on Saturday. Saturday will be all about Bengal elections. Don't worry. If you select people completely on ideology, then yes. Yeah, like ideology should be first, right? Why don't you want people in the Congress, BJP or CPIM or whatever that adhere to the party's ideology? Why the flip-flop every 5 seconds? Like, Scindia starts off at the Congress talking about Congressy politics, how great it is, switches to BJP, and now he's like, BJP is the greatest of them all. But in current state, we just have opportunistic bozos. We have opportunistic bozos everywhere because of these laws. Because there is no because parties are not selecting people based on their ideology and based on their ability to govern. We have opportunistic bozos right now. How do you not see that issue? You want baby rails. You want the baby's wheels on your bicycle so everything is stable, but the reason why everything is unstable is because of them. India wasn't this unstable before 1985, or we would never have been a country. Do you really think Modi could have done whatever he wanted before 1985? His own party would have revolted against him. Now they cannot. If you're talking about the speaker Om Birla right now, we will be talking about this. We'll get to it. If you're talking about Om Birla right now, why do you think it is so hard to get him banned from the speaker position? Do they not have the votes? No, they don't have the votes. Because everyone in the BJP, even if they agree with the current bill that is on the table to get him banned as the speaker, they can never pass it. Because they can never say, look, we are in support of this. They can never say that. Step is giving tickets to people who don't compromise on ideology, then remove this. I think not other way around. No, Jesus, please, no. This needs to be removed first. As long as this is in place, there is no incentive to give people who have better ideologies. There is no reason to get people elected who are ideological loyalists. What incentive do you have? Why would you choose someone who is less electable just because they have more ideological adherence? You are always going to go for the star in this scenario, because at the end of the day, the seat becomes completely meaningless. The ability to give a speech becomes completely meaningless. Okay, tell. Because see, the thing is, if you have this, it absolutely becomes meaningless to ever choose someone who has anything other than charm. If tomorrow we have a political party, we don't have to choose anyone who has any political ideology behind them at all, not one. Because I just need to get people elected, then it's my rule. I just have to tell them, this is what the high command is going for. That's it. They are never going to come up with 33% as long as I have party favorability. That's it. That is the whole point. The whole point. Okay. In 29, Congress wins, let's say majority, BJP loses since people vote for Congress, and then since BJP is the richest, it just busy elected Congress MPs and form governance. There is nothing stopping them. Sure. My question would be, why did Congress pick people who are this anti-ideology then? What are we doing? Chanke nahi khel rahe hum. We are talking about politics here. We are talking about politics that affects the entire country of 1.4 billion people. Why would you have someone who would just flip over money? No, what you're saying is okay. I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying doesn't make sense because the selection is wrong here. First, select right people. Okay. No. But that selection happens only after this law is taken down. No. You are wrong here. You're completely wrong here. There is no incentive to select good people as long as this law is in place. You are completely, absolutely wrong. You are putting the cart before the donkey. The issue here is the moment this law goes away, political party leaders are not idiots. All of these people would be kicked out of the party that are not looked at as loyal. that are not trustworthy. Do you think they are idiots? They don't understand this? They do. If you just have flippant people, don't keep them in the party. That's all. Like, fine, they're flipping now. They're not going to get a ticket later. They're not even going to get a ticket from the other party because of their flipping, what do you say? Flipping like tendencies. John Fetterman is not leaving the Democratic Party because nothing. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not leaving the Republican Party for nothing. They're leaving because they flipped. They're leaving because their party doesn't trust them, and the Democrats won't have them because her ideology is very much right-wing. You like, because both these parties, Republican and Democrat in America, I gave it because it's the most famous example of it. At the very end of the day, no matter how much of ever we cry that these party people are like, oh, like same side of a coin, or like in America has two right-wing parties or whatever, they still have minutial differences between each other. The difference in opinion comes from this. I think you're assuming India is no, bliss. Stop here. There is no difference of opinion right here. There is no this difference of opinion because I am right here. That is it. I'm sorry, I know what you think, but you're fucking wrong. Because you think right now India is so far gone that people are all stupid, everyone is corrupt. Everyone is whatever. I'm saying that is not even the problem here. You are going to find people who are ideologically loyal to the cause. You are. But as long as this law is in place, there is no point to do it. You are completely wrong here. Please, don't fight me on this anymore. There's no difference of opinion. I'm going to keep saying, what do you do in the 29 exam? I'm telling you this. That example never comes into place. That hypothetical is not true because you're missing the point. If you get rid of the law today, no person in the 29 Congress winning complete majority is ever going to choose people who are going to flip at the whim of like 5% of their annual salary or whatever. It is just not going to happen because they are then going to start picking people so something like this doesn't happen. Do you think political parties are stupid? Do you think the only brains that they have is like the people we'll see on the TV? No. Do you think BJP is only filled with Aishwani Vaishnavs? No, it is not. It has people in the background. It has Hiren Joshi like people. Hiren Joshi is extremely smart. He left right now. That's another point. But Hiren Joshi, there are people, multiple people like Hiren Joshi. Congress has them too. The point is, the people you see on the TV right now, the people in front of you are extremely stupid but highly electable. That's why they have these positions. All of these positions will go vacant because all these people will be dropped immediately. Do you think people like Vaishnav, Ashwini Vaishnav, like even Puri, do you think people who come on the television and say dumbass shit, even Kapil Mishra, do you really think these people are going to have a job if this law is removed? They are going to be sidelined within 5 seconds. Only people who can either get themselves elected irrespective of the party or have such ideological adherence to the party's ideology that they are not going to flip just because of money will all be selected, both of which are good things. Because in that scenario, whatever happens, you still have a clear political ideology coming from a party. Then you can finally have a CPIM which is far left, which is Marxist and doesn't just randomly pick people who have the ability to just get votes. You can finally have a center-left Congress or even a socialist Congress if that is still their overall idea. Do you not realize this? I know you think all hell is gonna... What good is happening right now? How much more fuck all do you want to get in India? What do you think? Like the AQ is going to go from 1,000 to 2,000? Do you think India is not going to get fucked over again with the Iran-Israel conflict? Do you think people are going to die even more? That is not going to happen. There is not, like, all of the nuclear facilities in India are not going to explode because of all of this. There is not going to be like stagnation of the government more than it already is. Currently, laws are being passed without discussion. Currently, laws are being passed because there is a majority. The majority just doesn't, like, the parliamentary sessions don't even matter. The government can do whatever the fuck it wants. Do you really think in 29, if BJP buys all of these people, is going to be any different than it is right now? Do you really think it's going to be any different than it is right now? At least then, if Congress wins with an absolute majority, Congress still has to, like, mend its own policy. Move around people, whip votes, do some actual groundwork than just orders coming out from the top saying like who has to vote how. There is no actual voice vote like it was in Birla where everyone is just fucking screaming. And based on the decibels of how much sound they produce, the votes are counted. That's the shit that they tell you. There are actual votes every time. Votes are actually counted. It's not previously decided how many votes something or something is going to have or not going to have. It's not going to be any different. No. I'm not discussing this on Discord because you're wrong. I can say this on right now. Whatever you're thinking is absolutely completely wrong. I'm just telling you this right now. The Congress trying to do soft Hindutva as strategic clearly hasn't worked for them. It has never worked for them. Even soft Hindutva as a strategy also hasn't worked for them. Nothing has worked for them because they are not on the ground. They don't do shit. They just talk about shit. All of this parliamentary session bullshit is going on right now because they don't do any shit. The only TRP that they get is from Rahul Gandhi speaking. It is very top bottom. Do you know any other top Congress people that can actually have a voice? Like around your area, do you have someone that you can name off the cuff that is a good speaker, has a good political ideology? There's a person who moves from one party to other every session as long as they're winning. I think we need to make first sure that no, please, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. No, you're just wrong. You're being too protective over the current system for some reason. And then you think this is a guardrail, to be fair. This is not a guardrail. That is where you're wrong. This is debilitating the entire system. You can't put a ball and a chain around the leg of democracy and then call it a guardrail because it can't run. You think people are going to jump? Who cares? Let them jump. What is the point of having a party whip? What is the point of having an ideology in a party other than keeping the party together? Congress hasn't won in Bangalore for the last few elections, both state and general. Okay, fine. So what? Check the BJP one then. Check the CPIM one. Do you think they have any credentials behind them or no? Check if they are even. Check if they are even in living in Bangalore or have ever lived in Bangalore. You would be surprised. Because I, for one, know a lot of these politicians that they actually want in the government are given safe seats. They are given safe seats. What do you know what the concept of safe seat is? That no matter what, they are going to be voted. So MLA, like whoever we want, we are just going to stick over there. They win, they are always going to win irrespective of anything. They don't have to even come to the state or come to the city. People can get elected from sitting in America and they can be just informed, hey, you won from this state and you don't even know how to spell the name of the state, forget the name of the city. maybe I simply don't have trust in the... No, you don't have trust in the political class, but you have trust in the guardrail that the political class created. Do you really, like, tell me, if you have a ball on chain on your leg that is not allowing you to run, are you actually going to be like, we need to start practicing running slowly first with the ball and chain? What is the incentive here? The parliament is running on autopilot. There is no change whatsoever. All corruption is put under the table because the current party doing corruption. The current party doing corruption is in the majority. So they have a free pass to do everything. What? Like, do you expect, like, do you see protests going out? Like the opposition is doing protests outside? Yes or no? No, you don't. It's not going to happen ever. Because opposition also knows, fuck all it changes. No, this is the discussion. Like, have you checked the title page of this? This is the discussion. How the anti-defection law is fucking over India. Coastal Karnataka and Bangalore vote BJP and who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck, New Moon? That is not the discussion that is happening. Doesn't matter to me. If Coastal Karnataka is winning Congress or BJP, all of those politicians are absolutely fucking stupid, have no power in their hands, get no voting power whatsoever. What the fuck matters? Tell me what the fuck matters. Congress is going to vote as Congress votes, how the high command decides. BJP is going to vote how the high command decides. Where is your power? Where is your power here? You are just voting. नहीं, हमको बीजेपी हाई कमांड का डिसीजन अच्छा लगता है इसलिए आई एम गोना वोट फॉर बीजेपी. मुझे कांग्रेस का हाई कमांड का आइडिया अच्छा लगता है, आई एम गोना वोट फॉर कांग्रेस. मुझे सीपीएम हाई कमांड का चले, आई एम गोना वोट सीएम. यू हैव अ, लाइक, व्हाई डू यू इवन वांट अ डायरेक्ट एमएलए देन? Like, do it without an MLA. Don't have someone in the seat. Doesn't matter. You pick BJP से Amit Shah, Rijeju if you want. I don't know, Hiren Joshi. I don't know, give him a seat too. And Modi, उनका एक cabinet इधर बैठेगा. On the other hand, you have like opposition में Congress. If they Congress राहुल गांधी है, खरगे है. I don't even know any other Congress person out here. You have आप में केजरीवाल. You have फिर शिवसेना में. I don't know if you want to join Uday, like Shivsena hai, Shivsena UBD say you have Uday here, you have Sharad Pawar over there. That's all the government is. Who gives a fuck if you have an MLA anymore? Your MLA has no power whatsoever. No one has any power whatsoever. Only high command has power. Why do you want to do this dance anyway then? क्यों रखना है election? क्यों वोट करना है? जस्ट हैव वन नेशनल इलेक्शन डन. घंटा फर्क पड़ता है जनरल इलेक्शन से. हाउ इज महुआ मोइत्रा डूइंग फॉर हर प्लेस? आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. शी हैज टू लिसन टू टीएमसी हाई कमांड एनीवे. I am agreeing with all I'm saying. No, you're saying what is wrong. No, what you are saying, like you're saying that first create ground reality where all current opportunity class. No, what you're saying is wrong. What you're saying is absolutely stupidly wrong. Because you're not understanding, as long as this law is not removed, that situation is never going to be created. You are telling me basically if someone is in the ICU, someone is completely better, but not better yet because they have a syringe in their hand. Because they are not eating. And you're waiting for them to recover. But you can't feed them until that syringe is in their hand, giving them drop. Now tell me, if you remove that, unless you remove that syringe and make them eat for themselves, how are they going to get better? Tell me, how are they going to get better in this scenario? This is where you're going wrong. The thing sticking in their hand is causing them the problem. Do you not understand that? You want to create this is I think optimism in every revolutionary that is fucking stupid, because they always like you're not the only one. I've seen a lot of Indians say this. Sab changa ho jayega if we do this, but for that we need this situation. But doing that thing is the reason why this situation is never going to happen. I don't understand this within, especially within just like communists and socialists and like left politics themselves. Like they will say that this needs to change, but for that this situation should get better, not understanding that this that needs to change is the reason why this previous situation that they're espousing needs to happen before is not happening. They did the one election, one nation election, so they officially confirm that what you are saying. Exactly. That is what I'm saying. It is absolutely pointless to have dual elections in India because of the anti-defection law. Your representative is not going to give you any bhav. Your representative has no incentive to ever speak your language. Ever. Who gives a shit, Bliss? Who gives a shit? Do you not see the mess happening right now? You are worried about some hypothetical mess in the future that is may or may not come, which I'm saying is not going to come in the first place. You are starting an argument, what if this mess happens? That mess is never going to happen. You know why that mess is never going to happen? Because parties are not idiots. They're not going to start selecting people from that are going to flip because of money. They are not going to select these kind of peoples in the first place. Ashwini Vaishnav, Sindhya, all of these idiots are going to be dropped from the party. Every single person who's money minded and doesn't go based on political ideology are going to be dropped from the party. That is going to happen. That is ground reality. At the end of the day, other party is going to focus on its survival after it wins. Do you really think they are not going to think about this? Do you really think they are not going to think about this? Who do you think these parties are? The faces are fucking stupid right now. I understand. You think they're idiots. They are not. Unke background mein there are a lot of people who should have been the politician in the first place. All of these influencer bitches that are there right now in the political parties, again, for example, not saying bitches to her, but fine, whatever, I don't really care. Why do you think Kangana Ranaut is in the party? Kangana Ranaut is not ideologically motivated. She's motivated by getting votes. No. Don't say sorry that you don't have much faith in political parties. I am not saying to have faith in the political parties. Do you or do you not believe that political parties are inherently selfish? Yes or no? It is a simple yes or no. If a political party is not, like if you get elected, political party gets elected, do you not believe that the political party is going to do whatever it can to stay in power? Yes or no? If yes, they're never going to pick people that are low on trust, that can flip because of money. And if they pick people that are gonna flip because of just something like money, then that political party did not deserve the position it got in the first place. Are you joking me? How do you not see this? Yes, then let them do it. Then let them do it. In that scenario, it becomes even easier to get them to act for a tertiary person within the country to change their minds and change their voting habits. It becomes far easier to get them to vote for something like getting Om Birla off a speaker if they get influenced enough in the parliament. It becomes easier. How do you not see that? Would you rather have an authoritarian regime currently governing India and like right-wing capitalist liberal authoritarian regime governing India right now? Or would you have a political system where parties have to fight? No, parties have to fight to keep their people in check, and parties have to fight and only select ideologically driven people. Now this may be left, this may be right, doesn't matter. Do you rather have an authoritarian capitalistic liberal regime or do you have the other? Because that is your choice. Because currently we're heading towards an authoritarian right-wing capitalist government that will fuck over every person living in India. That will be completely the farthest away from what a Marxist ideal is. That is what we are moving with it. One of the reasons for it is anti-defection law. And you are worried about, nahi, sab to bhaad mein jana hi hai because I don't trust political parties. Who gives a shit? Whether or not you think political parties are not to be trusted or not. I am telling you, political parties are not stupid. They have a base of support. They have advisors that are far more intelligent than either of us. They know that when there is no pressure to elect someone that has a strong ideological base, they can only elect them. They can just get some Changu Pangu who is just famous in the city, like an influencer or like a TV actor or whatever, Sudha Murthy, and just get them elected because they're never going to vote for anyone. They're never going to change their mind because they physically cannot. Legally, they cannot change their vote. Legally, they cannot vote for anything other than what the high command says. You want thinking people or do you want drones? You either end up with a one-party system in India at the end of the day because of this, or you end up with a one-party system in India because of this. There is no choices. Like tomorrow, if Congress wins in majority, this is the same problem that's going to happen. They are going to be a one-party system. Right now, BJP is a one-party system. It doesn't matter how much ever coalition you vote for. Imagine this. BJP has the highest vote majority. That's why no matter what, they are going to get it passed. No matter how much coalition support or non-coalition support, doesn't really matter because everyone doesn't get one vote. Everyone gets like the weight of the vote is multiplied how many people actually you have. It doesn't matter if they're drones or not. You can't chip away at this importance of their vote, the weight of the vote. You cannot. You just cannot. Because not one person you can't be like, oh, we just need one extra vote. And you can't then go to the opposite political parties with the most pliable or the person who currently is more pliable. You can't go to this party or you can't get an impassionate speech where everyone votes for you. It's just not happening because they are not allowed to. Unless you take like 33% of the party, which is like around 60 people, move them somewhere, make them promise, nee, please, you have to vote against your party. In which case, they would in that scenario be facing with like a judicial review, a court case, a fine, getting banned from the parliament. What the fuck is this? Like once you get elected in the parliament, you basically have no autonomy at all. You either vote for your party or you suffer consequences. That is it. That is absolutely it. What is the point of voting then? What is the point of voting then? There is no point in that scenario. Absolutely none. Anyway, getting back to this is the thing that we're talking about. Anyway, so why was Om Birla being defeated?
2026 को प्रातः 11 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है.
No, let's hear her first. You'll see the problem. And tell me whatever she's saying is right or wrong. Whoever it is, you can tell me in the comments later.
The minute the speaker comes into the...
Also, by the way, do like, share and subscribe. It is extremely important. Because this is the only place that talks about these issues. This is the only place that will actually tell you that these issues exist. Not one other person ever questions laws like this. Not one other. I'm sorry. This is the only place that will ever question shit like this. Because I don't know. The conversation needs to start, but it's not.
The house, Garima leaves the house. The Honorable Speaker's inglorious record. Sir, we are moving on no confidence against the chair. Obviously, the comments will be against the chair. The way it has been abused by the current speaker is the very antithesis of democracy. I was illegally witch hunted by the government. We are cut off in 30 seconds. BJP MP Ramesh Biduri stood in this house. He called him a Katwa, Musalman Atangwadi. Birla ji did nothing. The government has made a circus of parliamentary democracy. The Honorable Speaker has systematically throttled the voice of the opposition. Birla ji ordered the largest mass suspension in the history of Indian Parliament, suspending 100 opposition MPs. You have sat too long here for any good you have been doing. Today I stand on behalf of my party, the All India Trinamool Congress, with a heavy heart, but with a complete clarity of purpose, to support the motion of no confidence against the Speaker of the 18th Lok Sabha for presiding over the liquidation of the functioning of parliamentary democracy. It is richly ironic, it's divine karma actually, that I, the lady MP, who was illegally witch hunted by the government, wrongly expelled by Ethics Committee, which had no power to expel, after a motion in which I was not allowed to speak, where the Speaker, in violation of every principle of natural justice, did not allow me to defend myself. Today I am opening the debate for my party in a motion of no confidence against that very Speaker. You can't run away from karma. Dr. Ambedkar said that Parliament belongs to the opposition and the government should always be on trial. On the anvil, he called it, to ensure accountability. The role of the Speaker is that of a neutral arbiter and a keeper of the order of the House. This is absolutely vital to the function of Parliament. John Bercow, the Speaker of the UK House of Commons, said, "I never aspired to be Speaker of the House of Commons simply so I could say I am the Speaker of the House of Commons and tell my children that." So it can't be a matter of ego. It can't be a matter of personal legacy. The post is far beyond that. It is a fitting tribute to the vibrancy of India's democracy and the strength of India's dissenting voices that a motion of no confidence was moved against the very first Speaker of the Lok Sabha, G.V. Mavalankar, in 1954. He was accused of openly espousing the cause of the official spokesperson of the ruling party in all matters and constituted a serious danger to the functioning of the Lok Sabha. Pandit Nehru, who was PM then, participated in the debate, and he said that more time should be allotted to the opposition than to the government benches. Pandit Nehru, as Prime Minister, said this. What is the tradition we are following today? In the next decade, in 1966, there was a second motion of no confidence against a sitting Speaker, against Sardar Hukum Singh. And there it was claimed that he was arbitrarily disallowing questions likely to cause acute embarrassment to the Prime Minister, to ministers, to top leaders and government officials. Sounds familiar? Does it sound familiar or not? 20 years later, in 1987, again a motion was moved against the then Speaker Balram Jakar. Moving the motion was a future Speaker, CPM Somnath Chatterjee. And he said that Parliament is as much in danger from a muted Parliament than from executive authoritarianism. This is what Somnath Chatterjee said. The resolution was critical of Jhakar's rulings, which denied MPs the right to move adjournment motions. What do we have today? We have the Honorable Speaker who has not allowed a single adjournment motion. Every morning we come here and like a stuck record, what do we hear? किसी भी स्थगित प्रस्ताव का अनुमोदन नहीं दिया गया. Every morning we hear this. But you know something? In the previous 3 instances, something was different. What happened? In each of the 3 previous instances, there was a deputy speaker to preside over the proceedings. In Mavalankar's case, there was Anantasayanam Iyengar, who was then deputy leader of the Lok Sabha in 1954. In 1966, in Hukum Singh's case, the then deputy speaker was S.V. Krishnamurti Rao. He didn't get a chance to preside over the proceedings because the person who brought the motion, he himself, Madhu Limahi, failed to get the requisite 50 people, so the motion failed. In 1987, in Balram Jhakar's case, the Deputy Speaker M. Thambuderai presided. But today, what do we see? There is no Deputy Speaker. In the 17th and 18th Lok Sabhas, for the past 7 years, the post of the Deputy Speaker has been kept vacant.
I can just say this right now, that whatever she's saying is absolutely true. Not just that whatever she's saying is absolutely true. Any normal person would have removed Om Birla from the position. But because Om Birla has prior engagements with certain parties, with certain ideologies, the party lead is never going to have him get disbarred. So all he has to do is tell the public, like his party members, that we are not doing this. You just have to vote against it, even if you agree or you don't agree. Her speech is never going to affect a single person. Her speech is never going to affect a single person sitting there in the bench. That's why everyone is just sleeping at this point. There's no point in having this discussion. There is no point in holding a parliamentary discussion like this. That is because no person can ever vote against their party in India because of the anti-defection law. You have to understand this. It is a very anti-democratic law there is. It locks your MLAs that are supposed to represent you with their party's directive. They don't have to give a shit about you. And that is the problem.
Article 93 of our Constitution very clearly says that the House of the People shall, the word shall is used, as soon as may be, choose two members of the House to be respectively Speaker and Deputy Speaker. If the post becomes vacant, immediately another one shall be elected. Then there's Article 95(2) of the Constitution. What does it say? It says during the absence of the Speaker from any sitting of the House, of the deputies or the Deputy Speaker, if he is also absent, any other person who can be determined by the House. Today when the debate started, what did we see? The person, no disrespect to the current chairperson sitting there, but there was no consensus, there was no spirit of the House that was taken into accordance as to who was going to preside over the proceedings. The Speaker, the Honorable Speaker of the 18th Lok Sabha, has achieved many firsts. Unfortunately, all of them have been less than graceful benchmarks. He keeps talking about the vaunted garima of the House, but it has come to a point that the minute the Speaker comes into the House, garima leaves the House. That's where we are today. I'm first going to analyze the Honorable Speaker's inglorious record on a macro level, and then I'm going to dissect it on a micro level. So let's look at the first macro point. Suspensions under Rule 374A of the Lok Sabha Rules and Proceedings. Now, what did we have before? First, we had Rule 374, which required any suspension to go through a formal motion. 2001, Atalji's government, NDA government, you bring in 374A, which gives the Speaker, in case of a grave disorder, without moving a formal motion, he has the right of immediate suspension, without any formal motion. And this rule, the way it has been abused by the current Speaker, is the very antithesis of democracy. It is all that democracy should.
I'm sorry, Sandwich Man. I have not watched the movie. If you're new here, do like, share, and subscribe. I have not watched the movie. I am so sorry. I understand Dev Patel is there. I honestly couldn't care less about Dev Patel. I don't think anyone who's Indian has watched Dev Patel movies. I think the last one they watched is like Life of Pi, and that was it. I'm generally sorry. I can watch it if you like me to, but I think you're gonna have to subscribe for that, and I can talk about it in the next stream. But that's all I can promise you.
Not be. In December 2023, Birla ji ordered the largest mass suspension in the history of Indian Parliament, suspending 100 opposition MPs. This one episode alone accounted for over 40% of all Lok Sabha suspensions since 2004. In the last 20 years, in one day, he suspended 40% of the total. And why did he do this?
Life of Pi was decent, I would say. It was fine. I'm not a very big Dev Patel fan.
What was our grave error? We wanted a statement from the government on the breach of the parliamentary security. Was this not a matter of national importance? You tell us. Let this be a fair and neutral debate. Now, why these MPs were suspended?
Again, the debate is completely pointless here. Tell me one MP that voted against its party. They did not, because they can't. Why? Anti-defection law, right here.
Suspended.
No matter how better good speech Mahua Moitra gives, it doesn't matter. She's an excellent orator. Her speeches are completely pointless. Rahul Gandhi is an excellent orator. His speeches completely, utterly pointless. One reason and one reason only. They are not convincing anyone. Like, they hope the next time they come into power, they can have better laws according to them, but it becomes the same problem. It becomes a one-party system. The opposition has no teeth anymore because they can't convince anyone. You can't go to a BJP MP, like Mahua Moitra, for example, is very good friends with Scindia. Is very good friends. She goes dancing with them. She dances with Kangana Ranaut and Supriya Sule. She dances with them at Jindal's wedding, Jindal's daughter's wedding. For her, with them, practices day in and day out. Even if she calls her and Kangana Ranaut names that I don't want to talk about her. Even if her party has been like Kangana Ranaut is a blight on politics, she goes and dances in her person. So why? Because Jindal has asked. He's like a very rich guy. They basically got these people as like to show off. Like, look who's my friends are. So why can't she go to Jindal and be like, please, Om Birla is a problem for democracy. Why? Please vote against. Why can't they convince him? For example, very good friends, right? Beyond party lines. Why can't Rahul Gandhi go to Scindia? Scindia has been his like childhood family friend, as far as I know. To be like, please, like, you can change your vote here in this scenario. Why does anyone, any public BJP official out here is like, shit, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. I can't support this. Like, irrespective of my politics, I know what he's doing is wrong. I am gonna vote against him. They don't have spines. What do you think? No, even if they do have spines, they cannot vote against their own party. That is it. That is it. That's the problem. It's the anti-defection law that's the problem. You don't get any representation in India. Just have like a bunch of parties, select which party and how much votes you want to give. One nation, one election. They can decide whatever the fuck they want to do. Because that is basically what is happening in the garb of a parliamentary democracy.
Birla ji presided over the passage of 3 criminal amendment bills without any substantive discussion. I would say he's complicit in, but this incident was not a one-off for him. Between 2004 and between today, I've listened to all of you, Mr. Pal. We can't speak to you anymore.
The word removed from the record.
Please expunge it.
The word is removed from the record.
Please expunge it, sir.
No,
Please
sir.
Suresh ji, please let
No,
me say.
sir.
I mean, he's not going to do it. Doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Who absolutely gives a shit if they expunge it or not? It does not going to matter. It's never going to come back up. Because this. Go check this out. Tell me if it infuriates you to your bones. There is no way to get a politician to vote against their party's interests. Absolutely none. You either get 33% or you get no one.
But this incident was this incident was not a one-off moment for the speaker. Between 2004 and today, 245 suspension actions were recorded in the Lok Sabha, and half of this total, 120 suspensions were done by Birla ji alone. And that's not all. He's the only speaker who has suspended only opposition MPs. 100% of these 120, 112 in the 17th Lok Sabha, and 8 and अरे आप बताना बंद कीजिए मार्शल साहब, वो चेयर पे बैठे हैं आप नहीं, वो बैठे चेयर पे आप नहीं, आप बताना बंद कीजिए माइक पे. 120 suspensions have been done by Birla ji alone. And they were all Lok Sabha, they were all members of the opposition. Zero NDA. Let us now look at the numbers for previous.
Just that should have gotten Birla suspended. If we were living in a parliament That is more than just the show of like who can give the best speeches. That is all this is. There is no motion on the ground because of this.
Speakers. The
You can't
country has
change
a right
anyone's
to know these
mind.
statistics.
If a parliament is supposed to be the representation of its people, the people that they are saying represent. Now, you as a person from a certain city don't like what is happening with Om Birla. You are trying to force your MLA to change his vote. You go out and protest. The MLA is not going to change his fucking vote. MLA has to follow through what the government, his party high-ups are saying. You can't plead to him because he or she has zero power. Because they don't have any power whatsoever. Because they can't defect from their party for this only specific issue. They get fined, they can get banned, they can get exposed to judicial review. They can get a case on them. They can get an FIR again, but this is a serious one at that. Not that like the random ones that they get and they don't give a shit about.
Statistics. In Somnath Chatterjee's time, 2004 to 2009, only 5 MPs were suspended. Never once Rule 374A used. 4 were suspended due to irregularities in MP lads, and 1 was suspended due to some impropriety on an MP tour. Somnath Chatterjee was a UPA nominee. He presided over turmoil in the House. There was Advani ji was LOP at that time, but he never suspended NDA MPs. He never throttled their voice. He was called headmaster because he used to always scold MPs. He even went so far as to say that you all are misbehaving so much, you should not be allowed a penny of the public paisa to be spent on you. But even then, he never suspended anyone. Then we come to Meera Kumarji. She was also an UPA nominee. She was Speaker 2009 to 14 when Sushma Swaraj ji was LOP.
Honorable MP,
she suspended.
One
yes,
second. I would like to remind you
yes, ma'am, sir.
that any MP who suspended is not suspended by the Speaker. The House suspended.
I'm glad that you've been reminded of this, sir, by the Honorable Marshal, and I will take your point. And I will
There is a process, there is a procedure.
Yes, sir.
There is a process, there is a procedure.
All right, sir, he presided over it.
The process is followed.
Yes, sir, he presided over it. Sir, I will change my terminology thanks to the intervention from the Honorable Marshal. Thank you very much. Perhaps we should add a 10th member to the panel. We should add a 10th member to the panel. But anyway, I'm joking, sir. I'm joking, sir. I'm joking, sir.
One second.
All right.
Please hold on. Please hold on. No, this cannot continue like this.
Yes, sir. All right.
This is not done.
Okay, sir.
This is
sir,
done.
let me go with it. I apologize. Sir, let me go back.
Our previous sentence is removed from the record.
Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. All right, all right. She suspended. She is suspended.
One second. Yes, sir.
This type of sly remarks should be removed, and I request the chair to caution the member to bereft from this type of sly remark.
No, one second. No, one second. No, I fully agree. I fully agree with Mr. Bhatt. I fully agree because the comments are against the chair.
Sir, very good. Please continue. That's fine. Expunge it, sir.
Saugat Ji, please
it,
understand. These remarks are against the chair.
Sir.
This is drama, by the way. It didn't matter at the end of the day. It's never going to matter. They are trying to convince no one. The literal job is like, do you have the votes? No. Move on. Why have a discussion? The discussion would have happened before 1985. To convince the opposition that is opposite to your party to vote for you, for your bill. That's what you call a parliament. Here it doesn't matter. Everyone just votes for their party. That is it. They don't have the right to vote for someone else. They don't have the right to vote their mind or vote the mind of their population that they are representing. Because of one bill, the anti-defection bill. This is a bill from 1985. 1985, Rajiv Gandhi brought in this bill. Congress was the biggest beneficiary of it. And now India is losing because of it. This goes completely against what democracy stands for. You cannot paralyze every single parliamentarian that has been selected and elected by his or her constituent people. And you just cannot paralyze them like this. But this has happened in India. It's been going on for over 40 years now. No, nearly 38 years. No, 40 years, 41 years. Jesus Christ.
Moving on no confidence against the chair. Sir, we are moving on no confidence against the chair. Obviously, the comments will be against the chair. Please let me finish, sir. Please let me, Sureshji.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Sureshji, please let me finish. Venugopalji, please let me finish.
No, sir, please. Don't
Venuji,
misinterpret. Please do not
you are taking my
misinterpret.
time. Venuji, please.
While she is supposed to talk on the resolution, she is now remarking on the chair.
Venugopalji,
This is not
let
done.
me speak. Let me speak, Venugopalji.
So she's requesting you now to sit down.
It's okay, sir. Okay. So when Meena Kumarji was also a UPA nominee, she was Speaker 2009 to 14. Sushma Swaraj ji was LOP. She suspended a total of 45 MPs, but 70% of these were UPA, mostly Congress MPs from their own party, because they were protesting against the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh. Only 30% were from other parties. Sumitra Mahajan ji, 2014 to 19, suspended 73 MPs during her tenure. Of them, 25 MPs were Congress, 33% over the Lalit Modi issue. Remaining 67% were AIDMK MPs over the Kaveri issue and TDP MPs over the Andhra Pradesh special status issue.
Madam, let me again remind you,
Yes,
there is a process proceedings
Yes, sir.
of the House. It is the House that decides.
She
It is the
presided
House
over,
that
sir.
decides.
Now, sir, you are just interrupting,
No,
sir. It is the presiding over the proceedings.
No,
The second macro
I will
point,
have
sir.
to interrupt you because you are not correcting the course.
Okay, sir. Yes, the second macro point. Arey Venugopalji.
Sir, Honorable MP has requested you not to interrupt her, sir. She has already requested.
No, sir. The second macro point, sir. The decline in the number of bills being sent for scrutiny to parliamentary standing committees under the guardianship of the Speaker. Let me change my terminology. Parliamentary standing committees were formed in 1993 for what? To scrutinize bills. The 14th and 15th Lok Sabhas, with the UPA governments in the place, sent 60% and 71% of bills to the Parliamentary Standing Committee. What happened in 2014? 14 to 19? The 16th Lok Sabha, only 27% of bills were sent. What happened in the last Lok Sabha? 16% of bills were sent. The way it is going in this Lok Sabha, God knows what will happen. It will become single digit probably. Now let us look for a more detailed dissection. The office of the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha was accorded statutory recognition under the Salary and Allowances Leaders of Opposition in Parliament Act 1977. It is equivalent to that of a cabinet minister in rank. Ram Subhag Singh was the first, Buxar Bihar was the first recognized LOP in the 4th Lok Sabha from the Congress O, which was the Kamraj Morarji Desai syndicate. That was the first time any party had won 10% of seats in the parliament. Now, the first statutory LOP was CM Stephen. He was MP from Idukki in Kerala. Since the post was given statutory recognition, there have been 12 LOPs. 3 times the term has been vacant. Of these 12, 6 were Congress, 5 were BJP, and 1 was Babu Jagjeevan Ram from the Janata Party. So it was been pretty evenly distributed. Each of the BJP LOPs, LK Advani ji, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Sushma Swaraj ji, has had more than their fair share of parliamentary time and spotlight in the correct spirit that the opposition owns the House. It was not denied to them. In 2012, Sushma Swaraj ji, then the BJP's leader in the Lok Sabha, even said, not allowing parliament to function is also a form of democracy like any other form. That we have also seen. So in the Lok Sabha, past speakers have allowed not just the LOP, but also senior members to intervene in debates. For example, former Prime Minister Chandrasekhar ji, when he came back in 96 as the sole member of the Samajwadi Janata Party, often stood up and was allowed to speak. In March 1997, Biju Patnaik ji intervened. There was a Madhya Pradesh BJP MP called Sundarlal Patwa who asserted that the mandate was not actually with Deve Gowda, but the mandate was that of the BJP's nationalism, and the BJP should be allowed to form the government. And Biju Patnaik intervened very sharply, and he said, you people talk of nationalism. Do you know what is nationalism? You cannot know it. His Rashtravad is breaking up the nation in 20 pieces. Patnaik was neither asked to sit down, nor was the House adjourned by the then Speaker. Contrast that with the current Speaker. in the last Lok Sabha, the 17th, he perfected the art, or under his guardianship, the art of switching off the mics of opposition members mid-sentence, of ensuring Sansad TV paid for by taxpayer money blacks us all out. And when we stand up and he says this is a technical glitch, that's okay, we believe it, but I'm just pointing it out. It has become a joke within us opposition members that when we stand up for a 0 hour or a supplementary question, we are cut off in 30 seconds saying, Sankshipt mein boliye, Sankshipt mein boliye. And for treasury benches, people are allowed to speak endlessly, make unfounded allegations, lies against all of us. The government has made a circus of parliamentary democracy, and if the speaker is going to concede to being a complicit ringmaster, it is a very sad day for Indian democracy, a very sad day. In March 25, a delegation of India Bloc MPs met the Speaker. We submitted a letter raising 12 issues, including the failure to appoint a Deputy Speaker, denial of the opportunity to speak to the LOP and other leaders, disregarding the decisions of the BSC. During his term, the Honourable Speaker has systematically throttled the voice of the opposition and by default, the representative voice of 41 crore Indians, 410 million Indians, that's who we represent here. He did not allow a discussion on Manipur. We had to move a no-confidence motion just to have a discussion on the issue. Do you remember? I remember the MP from Manipur, Dr. Bimol Ekojam, he stood up close to midnight and with such anguish in his voice, he told us that this state of Manipur has been excluded from the national consciousness to the point of invisibility. He had to be given the time at midnight. When BJP MP Ramesh Biduri stood in this house, and he called Danish Ali, another fellow MP, and I'm going to repeat these words because the country needs to remember this was said in this house. He called him a katwa, Musalman Atangwadi. Birla ji did nothing. You failed not only Danish Bhai.
Tell me, if you have this many infractions, can you still lose a vote to remove Om Birla? Is there no Muslim politician in BJP that feels strongly against this? Is there not one person who can be like, no, this is wrong? But they just can't vote beyond their high command opinion.
But you failed 200 million Muslims of this country who put their head on their forehead on this soil of this thing. Ramesh Biduri continued the rest of the term merrily. He was never suspended. Birla ji did not allow a discussion of the special intensive revision in Bihar, allowed only a larger electoral reform discussion. On every matter of national importance, we have been disallowed adjournment motions and debates. On each one, I am not yielding. He's an MP, he's not a minister, I'm not yielding to him. On each one, on the Hindenburg issue and the Adani government nexus, you disallowed the motion. On Chinese aggression into our territory, you disallowed a motion. On the one-sided Indo-US trade deal, we had to learn from the US president there's been a trade deal. The government didn't tell us. You disallowed a motion. On the Epstein files, a sitting cabinet minister has a mention of 430 times. Heads in the world over have rolled. You have not allowed us a discussion. Every time we MPs from Bengal have demanded answers as to why the central government is starving Bengal of funds, why our people are being starved of their rightful dues, the Speaker has allowed the treasury bunches and ministers to systematically heckle us and dishonor us and humiliate us. On February 2nd, Birla ji disrupted the LOP's motion of thanks, citing rule number 349 and 353 to bar quoting from an article from the Army Chief of Staff's memoirs. First they said LOP should authenticate, then they barred him from authenticating. Yet on February 4th, a BJP MP designated as prime heckler by the treasury benches furnished books within the house and continued for 3 minutes. Then rule number 349 was not applicable. It is absolutely incredible, the show of partisanship that the Honourable Speaker informed this House that he had advised the Prime Minister not to come to the House as there is a danger from women MPs.
Yes.
1 minute, sir, 1 minute, I'll be concluding. The Prime Minister is too scared to come to this House and the Speaker is covering up for him in this ridiculous manner, denigrating women without any substance.
Honourable MP Shri apology.
No, sir, I have not finished. 1 minute, I have not finished. I have got my last sentence. Speaker Saab,
You already spoke
sir.
for 20 minutes.
I have
You
got
already
28
spoke for
minutes.
20 minutes.
My party has
She had to stop, by the way. So we are not going forward. And the reason why I keep saying this is because in the anti-defection law, it lays down the process by which legislators may be disqualified on the grounds of defection from the presiding officer of the legislature based on the petition by any other member of the House. A legislator is deemed to have defected if he either voluntarily gives up membership of his party or disobeys the directives of party leadership on a vote. Disobeys the directives of the party leadership on a vote. You have to listen to the party leadership for votes. By law, there is no way to convince an opposition party leader for votes, no matter how good your speech is, no matter how virtuous your bill is. If the Epstein vote had happened today, there will never be a Marjorie Taylor Greene in India because of this law. Do you understand it? You can't even be abstaining or voting against. Are you joking? What goddamn idiot thought this was a good law that will protect democracy in India? And this was taken out by Rajiv Gandhi. This was the Congress. This was Congress. Yes, we don't blame Congress enough for shit like this. Literally, they let the situation get worse because of laws like this. The reason why the BJP is so hard to defeat is because of shit like this. You have to concur with the facts. You cannot expect to turn anyone's mind in the parliament on an ideological level because of shit like this. This is not just one law. There are many. How MLAs are selected, for example, is also a black law. An MLA does not have to represent you. An MLA does not have to represent you because of how they are selected. They just have to be registered within your state or district. That is it. They don't have to live in the place that they are representing. They never have to visit. That is a problem. That is a humongous problem. They don't have to own property. They don't have to even stay for a year. They just have to be registered. That's all. That's all. That's all it takes to be an MLA from a city that you have never been to. Then this law. Because now it doesn't even matter if you are an MLA from a city or not. It doesn't matter. Because your vote doesn't matter. The MLA can't vote according to what the public is saying. The MLA can't even vote. Doesn't have to. He's just ordered. Vote yes or no. That is it. That is it. That's all he has to do. All of the voting that happens within the parliament, all fucking fake. No one is voting against their own party because they just can't. Because of this law. Democracy का नंगा नाच चल रहा है. There's no democracy here. I'm sorry. This is an oligarchy of a few party leaders. That's it. This is oligarchy of a few party leaders. No one can cross the party leader. No, there is not going to be a BJP MP saying, "Nahi, enough is enough. We are being fucked over a lot." Never going to be one. No one can take the stand because if they have to, they need 33% of the populace. You can't convince 33% of the entire BJP to change their vote. Because you at least need someone to start. And the someone to start is afraid because the moment he or she starts, this is going to get fucked over. They're gonna get fucked over immediately. Why do you think this law exists other than to ruin democracy in India? Absolute bullshit. Tell me one country that has a law like this. Fucking hell. Jesus fucking Christ. I will always speak against this law. I will always speak against this. This law makes it impossible to operate as a parliament. Why not just have, if you are just doing theatrics in the parliament anyway, because of this, you are just doing theatrics. Why not just have like Modi or Amit Shah speaking to Rahul Gandhi and that's it? That's it. Have one leader from each party come in and just speak and that's it. That is basically what is happening anyway. Like we are watching Mahua Moitra from TMC. That is it. There's no other one from TMC speaking. That's because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Whatever the TMC leadership decides is how Mahua Moitra has to vote. Whatever Rahul Gandhi and the BJP, Congress leadership decides, that's what party people have to vote. Whatever the BJP party leader decides, that's how the party has to vote. No matter who it is. It doesn't matter. You don't need good orators. You don't need good politicians. You don't even need people who can speak one language properly. You just need people who are high electable and that is it. Elect kar lo, baki khatam, baat khatam. They do not have to even like spell politics in English or even like whatever, doesn't matter. They don't even have to be able to spell Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. They can just be part of it. They can call themselves parliamentarian while not understanding what the word means. Because all they're good for is having a good face to get elected within their region and that is it. They don't need to be anyone who has an actual idea or an ideology. Doesn't matter. They can get voted on like, I'm going to be the biggest anti-caste person. I'm going to get like laws to protect the like lower classes in India. They can get voted on that. Then they come into the parliament. The party, higher party decides, we are not doing that. I'm sorry. You have to vote the other way. They can't do shit. They can't do shit. They can't say no. They just can't. This is authoritarianism within the party lines. Legally, they can't. Legally, they cannot be like, I don't agree with this. I'm going to vote the other way. You can, basically BJP right now can be like, I'm going to go on a child murder spree and we are going to make a law out of it. Not one politician from BJP can oppose it. Not one. They have to pass the law. Doesn't matter how good speeches the opposition gives. Doesn't matter if the ideologically you should not kill people. They cannot vote against it in the parliament. This all drama that they're doing in the parliament is just for show. That is it. Not one extra thing is going to happen from this. This is not going to get nowhere. They already knew Birla is never going to get kicked because BJP members, no matter how good the evidence is against him, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because they just can't vote against him, against what the party leader wants, what Amit Shah wants. Now, obviously, this motion was never going to pass. Obviously, no motion is ever going to pass. Obviously, this guy is back in the chair. Obviously, this guy will do shit like this immediately while he's back in the chair.
महत्वपूर्ण नोटिस आए हैं, उस पर कुछ चर्चा विषय उठाने के लिए प्रतिपक्ष नेता ने आग्रह किया है. मैं माननीय राहुल
Immediately that he's back, by the way.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, sir. As everybody is aware, a war has broken out in the Middle East. The United States, Israel, and Iran are at war. This war is going to have far-reaching consequences. The central artery from where 20% of the global oil flows, Strait of Hormuz, has been closed. And this is going to have tremendous repercussions particularly for us because a very large portion of our oil and natural gas comes through the Strait of Hormuz. The pain has just started. Restaurants are closing. There's widespread panic.
And what happens here? Nothing. Nothing happens. He doesn't have the votes. No matter how much speeches he gives, people from the other side are never going to vote against their party. And that is it. That is end of discussion.
About LPG. Street vendors are affected. And as I said, this is only the beginning. The foundation of every single nation is its energy security. And I do not say this lightly, but allowing the United States to decide who we buy oil from, who we buy gas from, whether we can buy oil from from Russia or not, whether our relationship with different oil suppliers can be decided by us. This is what has been bartered. And this is a very puzzling fact for me. It has been a very puzzling fact why a nation the size of India would allow any other nation, the president of another nation, to give us permission to buy Russian oil, to decide who our relationships are with. And this has been a puzzle, and I've been trying to figure this puzzle out.
And who is this for? Like, you might ask, who is this for? Is this all drama for the public to vote better next elections? It doesn't matter because they never bring this up. There is no like let's the sunset takes a retake. What difference does it make? All this discussion. Whatever the BJP wants to pass, it's going to pass.
And I have figured the puzzle out. And the puzzle is about compromise. We have a gentleman sitting here who is the oil minister. He himself has said that he is a friend of Mr. Epstein.
Oh.
Sir, I'm talking about oil security, sir. Sir, I'm talking about oil national. I'm talking about economic security, sir. Sir, here I have a document which shows that his daughter has received money from George Soros.
माननीय सदस्य आपने जो नोटिस दिया है, उस नोटिस में बोलिए आप नोटिस में बोलिए माननीय सदस्य। आप प्रतिपक्ष के नेता हैं, मैं आपको फिर आग्रह करना चाहता हूं, आप नोटिस अगर इस बात पर बोलने होता है तो नोटिस आज इस बात का देते हैं। नो, नहीं बोलने, नहीं इजाजत दी जाएगी। ठीक है, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा सदन। आप अगर नोटिस के अंदर, नोटिस जिस विषय पर आपने नोटिस दिया था, मैंने सुबह भी कहा कि संसद नियम प्रक्रियाओं से चलती है। आपने जो नोटिस दिया है, आप उस नोटिस में बोलिए। आपको अगर इस विषय पे बोलना है तो आप नोटिस देते, मैं अलाउ करता नहीं करता ये मैं तय करता, लेकिन ये तरीका ठीक नहीं है। नो, आप कोई रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जा रहा, आप नहीं बोलना चाहते विषय, ठीक है। नो।
Why cannot he be removed? Do people have no brains in the parliament? I don't think so. It is because even if they want to vote against him, they just can't. They're forced. They're forced. Read this again. Disobeys the directives of the party leadership on a vote. Do you really think this is how a government should be run? Do you really think every single MLA that is sitting in the parliament needs to be forced into voting the way the one person wants? Do you think this is how a democracy needs to be run, that no one has any rights whatsoever, even politicians don't have any rights whatsoever, and all of the party leadership, all it has to do is give a directive and that is how the party votes? This is not normal. This started with Rajiv Gandhi. I am very sorry to the Congress people. They are going to be furious. But this is a problem that you have to address. If you really still believe in democracy, you have to address this. Run this up the chain if you want.
हाँ, इस विषय पर जिस विषय पे नोटिस दिया उस विषय पे नोटिस पे बोलिए. अगर आपको इस डिटेल पे बोलना है तो उस पे नोटिस दीजिए आप. नो. धर्मेंद्र यादव जी, आप बोलना चाहते हैं?
सभापति लीडर ऑपोजिशन को सर बोलने दीजिए, बात पूरी हो जाए.
लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन है,
पूरी बात हो जाए. लीडर ऑपोजिशन की
बोलेंगे, नियम के विपरीत नहीं बोल सकते. जिस विषय पे उन्होंने नोटिस दिया है, नोटिस सदन के पटल पे उस विषय पर बोले हुए.
सभापति जी,
Jesus.
स्वतंत्र भारत के लिए
This is what he's saying.
संविधान का निर्माण किया, तब उन्होंने गहन विमर्श और
We
अनुभव.
just saw him being authoritarian. This is how he's acting, by the way. Right after the motion got rejected. Why did the motion get rejected? Because people can't fucking vote for themselves.
के आधार
You
पर
can't convince a single
संसदीय
opposition party member
लोकतंत्र की
to
व्यवस्था
vote
को
for
अपनाया.
a good thing.
और आज दुनिया के अंदर संसदीय लोकतंत्र की व्यवस्था ही शासन चलाने की सर्वश्रेष्ठ पद्धति है. इस व्यवस्था में संसद केवल कानून बनाने का मंच न होकर राष्ट्र की लोकतांत्रिक चेतना का केंद्र बिंदु भी है. भारतीय संविधान के आर्टिकल 93 में अध्यक्ष के निर्वाचन का प्रावधान है. मुझे इस पावन सदन ने दूसरी बार अध्यक्ष पद का दायित्व और अवसर दिया. मैंने हमेशा ये प्रयास किया कि सदन की कार्रवाई निष्पक्षता, अनुशासन, संतुलन और नियमों के साथ संचालित हो. सदन में सभी को साथ लेकर सामंजस्य से व्यवस्था एवं कार्यकुशलता बनाए रखने के लिए मैंने मेरे दायित्व को निभाया. मेरा
He
हमेशा
has done none of that, by the way.
ये प्रयास रहता है कि सदन की गरिमा, मर्यादा
The
और
Maryada is anything, like the line is whatever the Prime Minister wants, by the way. Like you can't talk about Epstein, you can't talk about Adani, you can't talk about Ambani, you can't talk about none of those. At that point, your mic is off, the entire camera is turned away from you, and all they show him is him laughing. That's it.
प्रतिष्ठा में उत्तरोत्तर वृद्धि होती रहे. मंगलवार दिनांक 10 फरवरी 2026 को प्रतिपक्ष के कुछ माननीय सदस्यों ने अविश्वास प्रस्ताव का नोटिस दिया. हमारे संविधान द्वारा स्थापित संसदीय लोकतंत्र की व्यवस्था में मेरा हमेशा अटूट विश्वास रहा है. मैंने अपने नैतिक कर्तव्यों का निर्वहन करते हुए अविश्वास के प्रस्ताव के प्रस्तुतीकरण के साथ ही सदन की कार्रवाई से अपने आप को अलग कर लिया. पिछले 2 दिनों में इस सदन ने लोकतंत्र की एक महत्वपूर्ण संसदीय प्रणाली को पूरा किया. इस चर्चा के दौरान अनेक विचार, अनेक दृष्टिकोण, अनेक भावनाएं इस सदन के सामने रखी गई. मैंने सदन के प्रत्येक माननीय सदस्य की बात को गंभीरता और ध्यान से सुना. मैं इस सदन के सभी माननीय सदस्यों को का हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, चाहे उन्होंने समर्थन में अपने विचार रखे हों या आलोचना के रूप में अपने सुझाव दिए हों। लोकतंत्र की यही विशेषता है, यहाँ हर आवाज़ सुनी जाती है।
Literally, no, that is wrong. That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. No one's voice is getting heard because no one can speak their mind in the parliament. That is just not something the parliament does anymore. Because of this.
और हर दृष्टिकोण को महत्व दिया जाता है। ये आसन किसी व्यक्ति का नहीं है, ये भारत की लोकतांत्रिक परंपरा, संविधान की भावना और इस महान संस्था की प्रतिष्ठा का प्रतीक है। मेरे पूर्ववर्ती अध्यक्षों ने इस सदन की मर्यादा और परंपरा को मजबूत किया और हमेशा इस सदन की प्रतिष्ठा बढ़ाई है। संस्थाएं, मर्यादा और परंपरा स्थायी रहती है। सदन द्वारा मुझ पर व्यक्त किए गए विश्वास के लिए मैं सभी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं, इस विश्वास को अपनी जिम्मेदारी मानते हुए पूरी निष्ठा, निष्पक्षता और संवैधानिक मर्यादा के साथ निभाने का प्रयास करूंगा। कुछ माननीय सदस्यों ने कहा कि प्रतिपक्ष के नेता को बोलने से रोका जाता है, उन्हें बोलने का पर्याप्त अवसर नहीं दिया जाता है।
We have so many times that this has happened. He's gonna give a whatever reason that he should have been removed.
मैंने इस पावन पीठ को स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं, चाहे सदन में नेता हो या चाहे प्रतिपक्ष के नेता हो या कोई मंत्रीगण हो, कोई भी सदस्य हो, सभी मान्य सदस्यों को सदन के अंदर नियमों के तहत, प्रक्रिया के तहत ही बोलने का अधिकार निहित है। कुछ मान्य सदस्यों का यह भी मानना था कि प्रतिपक्ष के नेता सदन से ऊपर उठ करें किसी भी विषय पर बोल सकते हैं, ये किसी को विशेषाधिकार नहीं है। मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं, सदन के नियमों से चलता है। सदन के कार्य संचालन नियम सदन द्वारा बनाए गए हैं, न सरकार ने न प्रतिपक्ष ने। ये नियम मुझे विरासत में मिले हैं और इस सदन में सभी सदस्यों के लिए नियम समान रूप से लागू है। सदन में जब भी लोकमत के किसी विषय को, चाहे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी हो या माननीय मंत्रीगण हो, उनको भी अगर वक्तव्य देना होता है तो नियम 372 के तहत अध्यक्ष से पूर्व अनुमति प्राप्त करनी होती है। उसके नोटिस के बाद ही वो अपने वक्तव्य दे सकते हैं। किसी मान्य सदस्यों को
Yes, I'm bored. I'm bored of him. He keeps talking. I don't want to listen to him. He is just mostly lying anyway. I don't care. I don't care. I honestly do not give a shit. This is the next bullshit that is happening. SC directs Union government state to dissociate with experts behind controversial chapter because they don't like it. They don't like being the government, like books talking about that there might be corruption within the courts. Because they are like, oh, there is no corruption. And then there didn't someone allegedly said someone allegedly found like multiple boxes full of burnt cash after someone's house was on fire. Was that not corruption within the judiciary, Mr. Chief Justice Surya Kant? I don't know if he sees it at all. Isn't it overuse of power? And like corruption has multiple different meanings, but isn't it corruption to tell someone to go sell more sweaters because you don't believe that the petition that is in front of them is written by them? Maybe they used a lawyer. You don't know. Isn't that corruption? Isn't that authoritarianism? This just happened, by the way. This just happened. Are we really saying that the judiciary has all the rights, you have none? That the judiciary can just go in and change textbooks the willy-nilly because it doesn't like the material inside it? Is this the India that you want to live in? Ask yourself. Sarin clearly doesn't. He left the moment I said this. Seriously. No. Just because you don't like something written in a textbook, maybe it's time to look inward, not change the goddamn textbook. There was nothing written here that was untoward or false. We have seen multiple times there was corruption in the judiciary. We have seen multiple times. Let me just I'm just trying to find the picture of this guy. What was his name? What was his name? Oh, sorry, I forgot. How do you spell his name? Is this not corruption? Tell me, is this not corruption? Let it run.
महात्मा गांधी में आग लग रही है भाई वालिया
What was this? What was this then? This was not corruption in judiciary. This was a judiciary. This was a judge. Yeah, Yashwant Verma, by the way.
What you're watching now is exclusive footage from the official residence of Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Verma. A fire broke out here on March 14th, leading to a shocking discovery. Jarred wads of cash found inside plastic bags. As firefighters tried to control the blaze, they uncovered half.
Is this not corruption in the judiciary? Does the High Court judge not be part of the judiciary? Is this none? There's no corruption
burned
apparently?
currency notes,
This never
prompting
happens.
one of them to remark,
This is not
"Mahatma
India, I'm
Gandhi
sorry,
ne
this is
aag lag
Pakistan."
gayi," referring to the burning notes.
Yashwant
Mahatma
Verma
Gandhi
was
Mahatma
a High Court judge from Pakistan apparently.
This incident
Tell
has
me
now
this is
led to a
wrong.
major legal and
Tell me
judicial
I am looking at this and this is not actually Delhi, this is Karachi judge. Tell me this is a judge from Karachi. Fire was in Karachi. I'll believe you probably. Like, this is not Indian Express. I'm reading this wrong. There is some issue with my eyesight. This is actually the Pakistan Express.
controversy. The Supreme Court has officially confirmed that cash was indeed found at Justice Verma's residence.
This
This
not
discovery
corruption?
triggered an immediate internal inquiry by the Delhi High Court. On March 21st, Delhi High Court Chief Justice Devendra
Maybe this is not corruption. Maybe my eyes are lying. Also another show of idiocy. This is very annoying. This is so infuriating. I can't tell you, Hamad. And like, to our dear imperialistic dodo,
with it
this is happening for what you keep saying. This is not happening because Americans and Israelis are so great. But I'm not going to go into this. I have screamed enough, and let's just keep this to the point right now. I've honestly screamed enough, so I'm just going to go now. This is going to be very annoying, very fucking annoying. The point is, let me just be clear. India has a black law. That law is called anti-defection law. It needs to be killed immediately. Needs to be killed immediately, and that's it.